Seven Trumpets Prepper. In this video, I want to talk about the fact that truth is progressive. I see so many people that start the journey of serving the Most High, and the pastors and the church houses all of a sudden expect this person that just accepted the Most High and believe on His Son and to keep the commandments to be perfect overnight. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have sin in our life. I don't claim to be perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, I will wholeheartedly tell you I'm a sinner. You know, I want to walk as close to the commandments, in the commandments as possible, believe on the Son, and keep the Father's commands. You know, I mean, it's not rocket science, because let's face it, everybody knows that rocket science exists. That's all stuff promoting the globe, just like this fake Earth map behind me that's going to get replaced this spring with a flat Earth map. But, you know, at the end of the day, we have to decide in our heart, am I going to go toward all truth, or am I just going to go, this is this far, and I'm going to settle down here? And because if you choose option B that I just stated, well, then you're like all the rest of the church denominations out there, just like I come out of Free Will Baptist. You know, my friend was a Roman Catholic. I know some that were Muslim, Islamic. You know, I mean, like, it's just like all these people I have to decide. It's like, am I going to follow where the Most High leads, or am I just going to set put? And so, you know, people's like, well, you know, they'll argue about, well, truth isn't progressive. Okay, well, let me give you my example. I, as a child, which in a separate video you can check right there, because I'm just going to totally unload on the so-called Christmas holiday. You can check the link to it. But, you know, when I was a child, you know, I participated in a lot of pagan things that I didn't know no better, like such as Christmas, such as the SUN Day worship. And, you know, the list just goes on and on and on and on. And I thought I was doing things to honor the Master. I thought I was doing things to honor the Most High, the Creator. And I wasn't. And so, you know, in 2009, my progressive journey moving forward, and also if you go to worldslastchance.com, you can just see how that ministry too started out and has progressively gained in truth. And this is just a short list. Man, there's tons of things that I've had my eyes open to since 2009. But let's just run down it, okay? Babylon, all right? You know, I concluded, you know, that the world, you know, pretty much, you know, this world is Babylon. And, you know, the great whore Babylon's the Roman Catholic Church. You know, I come to a conclusion about the Roman Catholic Church a long time ago, and, you know, how Revelation 17, Revelation, you know, just time and again just goes over and over about Babylon. And so the more and more that you put the facts together, and especially now, looking at 2nd Ezra chapter 12, compounding that on with the 8 kings and all these things, you add them together, and it's clear the Roman Catholic Church, because Daniel also talks about it. So anyway, moving forward, you know, I found out about the Sabbath. Well, that finally just right there, that keeping the commandments just exited me out of the Free Will Baptist Church. And then from there, you know, I went on to Seventh-day Baptist Church, where I continued to learn about the Sabbath, and merged from there to go into the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And in that time frame, you know, began to get a clear grasp of Sabbath, 7 trumpets of Revelation, end-time prophecy. And there, during attending Seventh-day Adventist Church, looking at the calendar, the Millerites and all that, I come to the conclusion of the lunar solar calendar, the lunisolar biblical Sabbath, and new moon, which I'll go to that, back to that in just a minute. And, you know, probation, and that you know, we are in the last days of, you know, the probationary period before the trumpet sound. And prophetic end days. Oh man, just guys, it just, the list goes on and on and on. And so to sit there and be like, well, I have all the truth. Well, I apparently didn't have all the truth. You know, I mean, I had to come to the knowledge of it. And don't tell me that it's not progressive when that the pastor man at the church house like, oh, we don't need to worry about following that, Bob. And Bob's like, well, the scripture says to do it. Well, see, that's because they can't ever progress further, because they're stagnant. They are part of Babylon now. And, you know, lastly, one of the greatest gems I've ever come across, and one of the few ones that I think, actually the only one that I can think of that I've ever come to the truth through, that it wasn't through the Bible itself to begin with, it was from science, and that was the flat earth, which you can check that playlist there and that playlist there about the 2 different playlists I put together of all my research on flat earth. And, you know, the one that I'm still on the fence with is New Moon, you know, is ever since I started keeping new moon, I kept it from the first visible sliver, first visible crescent, some will say. And because to me that was a visual witness in the sky, that light is rebuilding on the moon. It's a new month because, Book of Enoch's very clear that the moon diminishes till all the light's out of her, and that's the end of the month. It's full moon theory stuff and all this stuff. I just don't know where in the world to get off on it. But my thought process is that people are striving to keep the Father's calendar. The Most High Y'all will lead all into truth eventually if they all are serious and dedicated and loving. And truly in their heart are seeking it. If I could have one thing answered to me, if I petitioned the Sovereign of Heaven right now and said, you get one thing granted to you, ask the question, it'll be answered. It would be for me, when is new moon? Because to me, I'm still torn on that fence. Is it first visible crescent, or is it, the day after conjunction? Because although I can't see the light rebuilding on the moon, it has restarted. And, there is ways of figuring out, hey, this is getting to the end of the month. Hey, by the time you see the moon, hey, it was probably yesterday the light was started back. So, I'm still on the fence. I mean, my heart really throbs for first visible crescent because one day, when without the ability to really say it, and for most people, I mean, like, yeah, I can do it because I'm pretty good with technical stuff. But for the average person, are they going to really be able to look, crunch the numbers, be like, it's tomorrow, or well, no, it should be the next day because there's still a faint sliver of the end of the month. I mean, and eventually, I'm sure it's all going to get ironed out. But and in the new kingdom, these things won't be a question, and that's why people should be striving to progress with the light that they have been given. And if I've missed anything, I pray the Most High all presents it before me again. And it goes on and on. Oh shoot, the true Hebrew Israelites. I mean, that was something I'd studied out for quite an extensive period of time, off and on, and actually a National Geographic magazine about the pharaohs in Egypt kind of got me there. So I guess that and the flat Earth work kind of started outside the scripture. But ladies and gentlemen, truth is progressive. I mean, if that is not a witness to you in what I just said, and you've seen over my YouTube channel for, I think we're going on 5 years now this spring, 4 to 5 years. I mean, you've seen my life, the changes in my life, because when I come into truth, man, Luke just changes the wheels and gets moving right then. Because I don't see no sense in sitting still and acting like it ain't going on. If it's truth, let's walk in it. And so yeah, you are going to have to make a decision for yourself to follow wheresoever the lamb leads, or either stay stagnant. And I mean, the final battle you'll come down to personally, and I mean, I'm a very young man saying this, so I mean, to me, for me saying it, might not resonate well with some people, but for me, my inner struggles now is hatred and lust and gluttony. The sins that if a man can conquer himself, he can conquer anything. He can conquer Satan's dominion, because I'm one of the most defiant human beings in the world. If they come tomorrow and said you're gonna blaspheme the Most High or take a bullet, it's like, well, go ahead and just make sure to empty the mag. I mean, that's like how defiant my mind is, because I'm one of those people, you tell me don't do it, and because I wouldn't have done it anyway. I just left it alone. But because you told me don't do it, and to be spiteful and mean at me, I will go and do it now. I mean, because that's just how Luke is. And you're going to have to develop that sense. I think everybody's going to have to develop that sense inside their heart that it's not that you're trying to be mean. It's not that you're trying to be spiteful. It's almost like, I'd put it, my spirit in me, I think it's a lot like Eleazar, that was Abram's servant, because when he went in, I think it's in the book of Yeshar, when he went in, the servants or the people in Sodom and Gomorrah assaulted him, and they threw a rock at him, hit him, and then the guy sued him and took him to court, because this is how I can see why most of y'all barbecued, a fire and brimstone destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, because sued him, said, well, I threw a rock and injured this man, so, he's supposed to pay me. And the judge like, yeah, you're supposed to pay him. And he's like, are you kidding me? And so he picks up a rock in court and throws it and hits the judge. And he's like, there you go. Now you can pay him my fee. And then walked out. And I'm like, there you go, like a boss. And the best I remember, that's how it's told in Yeshar. Yeshar is such a great read. Some say Yasher. I ain't going to argue over the names, how to pronounce it. But at the end of the day, where I'm at and what I'm saying in this video is that you're going to hear pastors, you're going to hear your family, you're going to hear people say, well, it's always been this way. It's always been our tradition. Or, that's just how things are. Look, I don't know how many times I've heard about Sabbath. I've told my family, especially my family, and they're like, well, we know, that I understand about the Sabbath and everything, but, this is just how it is, and this is when everybody decides to meet. Well, I ain't everybody. And this ain't your choice. You didn't create me. The Most High Yah did. So until you can get that creative ability and create worlds, and you ain't never gonna do that. So you don't have a say in the matter. It's the Most High Yah does, and anything outside that's rebellion, and then you're in the league with Satan at that point. So I mean, it's not a two-way, or well, yeah, I guess it is a two-way street. You either in or you're out. So guys, just don't get discouraged, because I'll say this in the end of this video. I can't tell you how many times from attending church. Gosh, I think I left. I left in '09, so I went about 22 years to church, 23, and was there almost every time. Something that always shocked me is, and it profoundly bothered me, even to this day, is that I cannot tell you the people that lived a wretched life. And I love all humanity. I don't care what, how deep or dark your melanin is, because I don't see people as color. I just see human beings. But everybody wants to throw color out there. So no matter how dark your melanin or light, no matter what ethnic, creed, race, religion, even the gender situation going on today, I want to see people get their heart right with the Most High Yah. And at the end of the day, you cannot show me a person that lives a bad life, or is a crackhead drug dealer or something like that, and tomorrow they decide, I'm going to live for the Most High, and all of a sudden they're perfect. No, ain't happening. And I'll tell you why. You take somebody that's coming down off meth or something like that, you take them to one of these drawn out places. Now the next day, do they walk out of there? The next week, do they walk out of there? No. So why do you expect people to go down to the altar, or whether it's tomorrow on the street, they just sit down on a bench and pray with somebody? It's like, you know what, I want to accept Messiah, and then they decide themselves to get down on their knees and pray and ask, Messiah into their heart, believe on the Father, keep the commandments. Do you think that they're going to be all right the next day? No, it is a work in progress. But now they have the help of the Most High and the Ruach HaKodesh dwelling in their heart. And I, and that because of that, I desire to want to do better. I want to honestly honor the Father, whether I get to make it in the new kingdom or not. And I promise I'm in this video. This is the end of my. Whether I make it in the new kingdom or not, I truly hope that from this very day here forward, I do the very best I can to be a witness for the kingdom, to honor the Father, keep His commandments, do His Torah, and live a life that He would be proud of me. And whether I stood in the judgment bar today or 100 years from now, if I was judging myself, I wouldn't let myself in. And that's just me. I try to hold myself to a standard higher than humanly possible, because I figure if you set the bar this high and you need to be here, hopefully you'll finish somewhere in between. And I want to, I want to finish with a good win. And I hope that each and every one of us can overcome the things in our lives, because everybody's different. So guys, just remember, truth is progressive. The change in person's character doesn't happen overnight, but it is a progressive journey. And one day, hopefully, we'll all be made perfect in that journey, as Messiah is perfect in the Father. So guys, until we see you again here at 7 Trumpets Prayer Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.